So, what is geocaching? Well, I've put something together today that hopefully helps you to understand it better and makes it really simple and actually get you interested in trying it out. Well, geocaching is actually a really fun family event, or can be. Get your kids out and get them hiking, but not only hiking and enjoying the outdoors, but finding something interesting. How many kids don't want to find something, a treasure somewhere? What's great about this is you can find geocaches anywhere in the world. There's some places that have more than others, but I mean, anywhere you go, you can make your traveling a lot more interesting. Maybe places like New York City, and there are probably thousands of caches in New York City, if not more. But other places like your favorite city, it's like Seattle, for example, instead of going down to the fish market or something, or there's other things you can do down in Seattle, and you can make it more fun for yourself, your friends, and family. Well, you can also find caches in places like Estes Park, which is where I live or close by, and you can see right there how many caches there are there. And then places around there, if you're wanting to go out in the Rocky Mountain National Park and go for a hike, well, wouldn't it be a little bit more interesting to actually go find something rather than just going on a hike? Well, do you have to have something like a GPS unit to go and geocache? Well, the answer is no. You can see right here that first you can use your phone, or you can use a GPS device like the 67i right here. This is a Garmin GPSMAP 67i. And I'm getting this all set up to go out on a geocaching run. So keep an eye out for that video. All right, so let me give you a few definitions real quick so I can give you a really clear definition of what geocaching is. First of all, for the dictionary definition, geocaching is a game in which players are given the geographical coordinates of a cache of items which they search for with a GPS device. And here on Wikipedia it says geocaching is an outdoor recreational activity in which participants use a GPS receiver or mobile device to hide and seek containers called geocaches or caches at specific locations marked by coordinates all over the world. And presently, there's about 3 million caches worldwide. Well, let me tell you really quick what geocaching.com says about this.
Geocaching is an any-day, anytime adventure that can take you to amazing and beautiful places, or even just to a place in your town that you've never been before.
All right, so there are a lot of different sites you can go to for geocaching, but I looked up geocaching.com, and here's a little bit of what I'm going to show you. I mean, you can go onto their site here, and then you can actually type in your location. I put in where I live, and a list of geocaches came up. Now you can see right here, there's traditional things and there's new caches and most favorited. And some of these you have to pay for to get to, but you can just also go to a map. And I've done that. And here on the map, you can see in Breckenridge, which isn't very far from me, there's not a lot of caches here, but there's at least, it looks like maybe 15 to 20. So this is one way to go find those geocaches, one through a list and number two through the maps. So, what's so interesting about geocaching, and why do some people find it so fun? Well, here's a list of several things, and I just took some of the things from the list I found on geocaching.com on their blog site. And it's experience new places, fun for the entire family, makes exploring more interesting, gets you outside, you meet more people, you discover new places where you live. Some people like to travel the world and find geocaches and ancient places. And there's also giving back to the community. And sometimes groups go out and they will clean up part of the environment and take the trash out with them. They'll find the cache and then they'll clean up around it and take trash out. But I want to show you a clip of just a few people who have gone out and found geocaches and show you kind of how hard it is to find them.
Wow. Look at that, completely buried underground. I know this wasn't the way it was hidden. This is just time and loneliness. Oh boy, look at that. Found, buried underground in the failing light of day. This is a find.
There's a strange door inside this palm tree. We got to figure out how to open.
What is that?
There's something in the back of the tree.
Ready? Ready?
Yep, pull it. Yep, pull it. Oh, yes.
Well, that's pretty funny, but it just goes to show you how hard some of these can be to find. And then you got to use your head and look for things because it's not always easy to figure out how to find them. There are so many great things that you can find. I mean, here you can see there's the redwood forest. And now up here, I actually think they're at Estes Park right here, and they're teaching children about geocaching. Here's another example where somebody has found something that's buried at the base of a tree. And it's just fun for friends and family to get out and do things together, but it can be really difficult to find things. Here, this wouldn't be so difficult. Maybe the challenge would be hiking to go find it, but it's not buried. But like right here, this is buried somewhere on some farm, and it is a little bit more challenging to find. Now they can be really sneaky here, and you can see they've buried this inside a real tree trunk. They probably cut off the top of this trunk, and then it was hollow inside, and now that can be really difficult to find. Next, I'm going to show you how to actually set up the Garmin GPSMAP 67i to get outside and go geocaching. So how do you set up a Garmin GPSMAP 67i for geocaching? And that is actually what we're going to run through today. And I'm going to just take you through step by step of what I experienced as I started out with support.garmin. And this is where we are going to go next. So the first thing you should do when you have questions or you're trying something out or you want to learn something is go to support.garmin. And then it'll ask you to put in your device. And when you do that, it'll come up with a whole list of things that you can do and or check and try to reconcile something before you actually call Garmin. So here it talks about registering your device. So I went into geocaching.com, I logged in, and I signed up with my Google account. And then you ask for a username. So you just run through this. You set it all up, and you can see I called myself Emergency Beacon. Now, my name here is Hiking Emergency Beacon, but it wouldn't let me go that long for a name. So I went Emergency Beacon, and I filled out all my information on my profile. Once you do that, then it's going to ask you to pair your device, but you really need to run over to and this is where you come back to the support.garmin site, and it talks about how you pair your device or register your device. So if you go to the menu and you go to setup geocaching and register device, it walks you through everything. So there's two different things you have to do here. You have to create an account on geocaching.com, and then you have to register here on your device. So you can see here on the screen, I captured some screenshots. You hit the menu button twice on the GPSMAP 67i. And if you can see it right here, I've got my 67i. So I went into the geocaching under the menu. I registered a device, and then you can see here it says on the very right-hand side, it says register device. So now the next thing is what happens is you'll get basically, I think it's a software download, and you have to go to Garmin Express to download that information. So I went and I selected my GPSMAP 67i, and then it said ready to download, and then I took care of that. Now, at the same time, then it's going to ask you to, pair your device with, then it's the geocaching site. So I did that. Then I'm coming to the end of everything right now, because it's really not that long of a process. It really only took about 10 minutes, probably the whole time from when I registered at geocaching.com and then got everything set up on my phone. So then you can see the middle image here. It says select a geocache to get started. Geocaches will show up on the 67i. Now you can have it synced with your smartphone and you can look on your smartphone, but I was doing my best to do most everything from the device. So what came up here for the area that I'm in, there's 4 different things here. And actually, most of these are over at the Dawson's Butte Open Space Trail. So once you do that, you're ready to go. Actually, you can go out and you can select it, and you can then navigate to it and find the cache. Hopefully, some of the caches are a little bit difficult to find. But I went back over to the geocaching site, and I wanted to see about finding something there. And a list of, if you put in your location, and I put in where I'm at, Larkspur, Colorado, and then a list came up. But besides that list that you can pick from, you can also go into the map, and it'll show those caches that are around Larkspur. Now, the area I'm talking about, where I went to the Dawson's Butte Open Space Trail, is just slightly north of here. But all these caches show up. Now, the ones over on the left side of the screen, that's over at Sandstone Ranch. Now, that is a new open space trail here in Colorado where you can go out and you can do a bunch of hiking. So those are actually new caches. That's interesting, and something I probably want to actually take a look at. So even though that took about 10 minutes to get it all set up, now I'm ready to go, and I can go all over Colorado, in fact, all over the world, and I can find geocaches. Now, the next thing I want to show you is other people's geocaching adventures, because I have not personally gone out on one yet. I'm getting set up for it, but I haven't done it. But I want to show you what it's like and what you can expect, and some ideas about maybe how hard it is to find some of these geocaches. So check out some of these other videos of people who are out geocaching and what they have experienced and how hard it can be to find these caches. All right, now that we have the 67i all set up for geocaching, let's look at some videos of some people that are geocaching. And the first one I want to show you is an example of what it's like to geocache with kids.
So we're really close, Sienna. Look,
I know. I see it.
132.
I'll
You
see
see
it.
it? Oh, okay.
Let's do the geocache though.
So we're almost there.
See that we're almost there.
Usually it's something that stands out. And to me, that tree with those rocks stand out. It's called Little Brother. There is a hint. Junior size compared to its many big brothers nearby. Maybe it's like a junior rock compared to the brothers, and it's a micro size. So as you can see right here, we're also looking for something on the smaller side.
We're looking for it. It's been an hour or so. It's been a lot of. So I guess she found it. Where is it? Oh, and it's very well hidden because it looks like a rock.
We found that one, and we're putting it back. Exactly where I found it. That was hard. You want to get one more before we go home? One more.
No, 2 more.
2 more? Oh, she's into this, all right.
No, 3 more.
3 more. Where I don't think I forgot water. It's in the car, but we'll go get it. So, okay, let me put this
You
back.
said we were gonna find 5. So we've only found 2 so far. So 3 more we're going.
All right, so the next geocache is over in UK, and this guy found it, and it was underneath a bridge, and it's a pretty big cache, or at least in his opinion. So let's take a look at this one real quick.
Well, I've got to say, I found it, and it's huge. I'm not going to show you in this video because I don't want to give the game away. It's well camouflaged. You do have to go for a bit of a forage, and the hint and everything, the clues are all valid. And it's just one of those where you don't know what to expect. So I'm going to dig it out and then I'll show you. I mean, look at the size of that beast. It's enormous. There's a big log. There's stickers and pencils and stuff. I'm actually going to leave a couple of swappables in here, I think. Okay, so that's me, all signed up in the log. Hope you've liked this. I thought this was brilliant.
Okay, this next one is kind of interesting because it's at the top of a cathedral, and I don't know where it's at, but it's still pretty cool.
I think we are in the right location. We had to look at some of the pictures on the website, but this wall, solid. But oh, I can reach.
Oh, wow.
Good thing I'm here.
Yeah, I couldn't reach.
We found a geocache on top of another geocache. That's gone. Lost to find.
All right, I hope you're starting to see that a lot of these geocaches are in really cool places, and you're going to like this one. I didn't expect to see a geocache in a megalith, and I think this is over in France somewhere.
Jasmine's found a cache at the first megalith. Wow, it's a bit more broken, this one. And Jasmine's found the next one. Really on a roll today is Jasmine.
All right, this next one is somebody who's been running on this trail for a long time and didn't realize there was geocaches, but he's about ready to find one right where he's always run.
This is a regular trail of mine. Never seen a geocache down here. It's been here for years. 10. Oh look, arriving at. So it's here somewhere. Of course, if I had my phone, I could check the hint. Found it. So that took a little bit of perseverance, but it works. Right then, on with my run. I'm very pleased that worked very well. I think in the future, I might read the details of the cache a little bit more and commit them to memory before I go out on my run. Find your caches, stick them in a list, send that list to your Garmin devices, and then use the navigation functions to go and find it while you're hiking, walking, trail running, cycling, mountain biking, whatever it is you do. Super.
All right, that shows a couple things there. One, these can be really hard to find, and sometimes you need to look at the hints. But a lot of people, I think they call it DNS maybe, and it's when you can't find the cache. It happens quite often. And he found that with a Garmin Phoenix Adventure Watch. Now, this next one here is an example of using an actual GPS device to find it instead of a phone or a watch.
All right, we're here at the park, and we did a find on the geocache about 100 meters away from the waypoint. But since this is a multi-geocache, we had to do something, did some puzzle solving to get the final set of coordinates. So I'm here on my trip computer page using the geocaching dashboard. I'll just hit on menu, view geocache, and here we'll get the menu. And what I want to do here, since this involves finding the final location, I want to select enter next stage, hit enter, and then from here we just enter our coordinates and we go and find the final location. So we're just navigating to our final destination, our multi-cache. I noticed on the map that we're walking right next to another traditional geocache. So let's find that one and we'll resume our multi-cache. So I'm just going to hit find. So let's go find another. Again, go down to geocache. And we're 31 meters, so we're really close. So we'll do go. Flip over to our trip computer. And let's go find this one. Let's try to get close to 0 as possible. Like that. All right. Now we're here. Let's try to find where this geocache is. Well, took a minute or two, but I found it. And here it is, right there. Now let's log this geocache. All right, so now that we've found our traditional geocache, let's resume finding our multi-cache. So we'll hit find, find another. Let's go down to geocache. And there's our next stage that we entered previously. So we'll hit find, and there it is. Go, and let's resume. All right, we're arriving at the final stage of our multi, and we're just closing down the distance. As usual, we try to get as close to 0 as possible. In this case, we found the geocache, which is right here. Great old birdhouse. Open it up. There you go. Here's the geocache.
This next one is in Abbott's Morton, and I don't remember the name of the town. I guess Abbott's Morton is the town. But I just want to show you here. Actually, you know, this bridge she's about to cross, yeah, it looks a little bit interesting to get on and cross, but it's just another example of what you might find when you're out geocaching.
The camera's straight, but that bridge definitely isn't. It's like being at the fun fair. This looks an interesting geocache side. Great stuff.
All right, let's keep going with another find. I've got about 16 or so of these, but there's different ones. And I just want to give you a taste of some of the differences that you're going to find when you actually go geocaching.
So arrived at the GZ, or the geocaching zone. The coordinates are like I'm 2 meters away, it says, with a 3 meter accuracy, which isn't really that bad, to be quite honest. I'm really quite happy with that. So that gives me 9 square meters to try and figure out where this cache is. These are puzzle caches, so the coordinates are normally spot on, and yeah, we'll see what we can find. All right, so I managed to get the cache. That's great. I will log that now. The GPS coordinates were bang on, and this actually went down to 0 when I got to where the cache was.
All right, well, actually, that one was with one of the newer GPSMAP 66i. So that's not the newest one. I have the 67i, but it's a great example of what you would see if you use something like a Garmin GPS unit. All right, this video is just a little bit of somebody telling what to expect and how to find a geocache.
Saying I'm 277 feet. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Here's where we're at, okay? So we're walking in that direction. Down here is how many feet to the cache, okay? And we're just gonna keep walking straight down there. All right, we're going towards what we call ground zero. Ground zero is as close as you can get within GPS range. So, you know, GPSs are not perfect by any means. So they're going to get you to the general area. And I highly suggest that once you get to ground zero, you put your phone away and you just start looking. So this is an area where there's an old burnt bridge. And this is kind of neat because I've never actually been out here. So it says we're 134 feet. So you're just following basically the map on your phone. So this is obviously an old burnt bridge. This is what I would call ground zero. Okay, obviously, we are someplace where there is going to be a geocache. Now, I would say it's either going to be over there or associated with this sign over here. You want to basically think, if you were a geocacher, where would you put it? Now, I would put it on this sign. So we're going to come over here and look. So you are looking for anything that is suspicious or out of place. And let's see if I can show y'all here. But back here on this post, there is some string right there. So I'm guessing something's hanging there. Let's find out. So if we come around here, let's see what we find. Well, there you go. There's your geocache.
You can actually see that this makes actually going out and hiking, running, hanging out with the family a whole lot more fun. And I haven't done it yet. I'm about to do it this weekend, but it makes me want to go out and try it. Now, this next one is a massive cache. I haven't been geocaching, but this looks huge. So I think you're going to enjoy it.
There is so much in here to look at. There's a trackable collection from the cache owner. It's Dirty Mo's Travel Bug Penthouse Collection. There's like a spider in here. It's Trivia Pursuit Baby Boomer Edition. I knew that this was a huge trackable hotel as I came here. Did I not say this?
On the way here. Trade fairly.
Yes, trade fairly.
All wristbands are freebies, one per person. What do they say?
This is like the jewelry section.
Heartless dirt bags, it says on it.
Look at there's stickers. So cool. Look at some of the people have signed the wall. I'm really tempted to sign the wall. This is pretty much like a geocaching like general store.
I really think
Like
so, yeah.
there's so many items you can pick up, you could trade for. Well, so this is where all the trackables go towards the back. Tim, you found some better trackables to drop.
Yeah, we're gonna drop these.
That is a very rare geocaching vlogger German trackable that got to me all the way from the UK.
Man, put it right there.
There it is. That was just a treat.
Oh yeah, this is awesome.
You don't find something like this every day, people.
All right, I told you that was huge. I'll bet you there's something bigger than that, but I've never seen anything that big. Of course, I haven't been geocaching yet. So now this next one is just a really interesting cache, the way it's, I guess, hidden, and then also the way you have to get the cache out. I think I may have left that one in the ground. All right, this next one's kind of funny because this girl has to go out in the woods and looks a little bit challenging.
Okay, guys, I have to go in the woods here. It's straight up the wilderness. I'm scared. I don't want poison ivy, thorns, or snakes. Is this even worth it? Oh my gosh, you guys. If I get murdered, it's my own fault. Is that a hole? What if there's something living in there? What is that? That's a spider web. That's a huge spider web. You guys, I found it. I found it for real. How do I get to it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys, look. Look. Spider web. Spider web. Oh my god. It's not really worth the poison ivy and getting murdered. Maybe everyone should find geocaches with friends. Take somebody with you. Make it a sister bonding thing. How do we get out of here?
Okay, that's actually pretty funny, but she brings up a good point. When you're out in the woods and there's houses around, and I mean, kind of maybe creepy houses, maybe you shouldn't go by yourself. At least maybe she should have taken somebody who can video. All right, this next one is in an easy to get to location in a park somewhere, but it is really hard to find, as you are about to find out.
The hint was, your mama always told you not to do this.
My mom always told me not to chew with my mouth open.
The mouth. The mouth. The mouth of the baby. I mean, not the baby, the moose. Oh my gosh.
We did it! We did it!
Found it! Geo challenge complete. DNF avenged.
All right, you can see by that one there, I think they had looked for it about 8 years ago, and some of these can be really hard to find. And in fact, one of my buddies was telling me that he was at something like a World War II monument or something, and there was all these rivets on the structure, whatever it was. And actually, one of the rivets was actually the geocache. It looked just like the others, so they could be very hard to find. Now, I don't know which one is harder to find. Was it that one, or is it this one?
So I'm systematically, I got bored of searching. Like, I've searched every single rock and picked everyone up 3 times. So I'm taking each rock and I'm just getting them out of the way so I can check each and every one. Of course, I'm going to put them back. Anyway, the coordinates pointed me down here somewhere, but I'm slowly fanning out. I don't like to be beaten. And I think it was this one. Yeah, do you see the cache? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Well, let me tell you. I haven't opened it yet, but how evil is this? How evil is... That has got to be the most evil thing in all the world. Look at that, the tiniest little logbook in there. If I can get it out. Yeah. So, an hour of my life wasted. This is a true difficulty 5 geocache. So now I have to pull the rocks back. But yeah, great one. I mean, how? Let me just put that lid back on. I don't know if you guys want to see it again. But that there.
All right, I think that one actually classifies as downright evil, as he said, or really mean. I don't know if I would have kept actually looking for it an hour. We'll see, but no, I think I would have stopped. As you can tell, I'm not a diehard geocacher, but I did want to show people how to use your 67i to do this. All right, this next one is just a really interesting, clever way to have to get the cache out of the pipe.
Quick little video. I'm here with Charlie Brown. We found another really cool cache. Next one, try and open it up for us. See if you can figure it out. This is not log. See the other side for rules. Whoa, lots of rules.
Do not use your own tools, no wires, no sticks, no tools.
So then there.
Do not insert anything inside, do not cut the straps, do not attempt to tilt the tube. Don't hit, tap, or smack or thump it.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. Please put the cache back. Don't forget the lid. Follow instructions on the container.
Let's see if this Nicholas can figure it out. The description says the solution is in your hand. I'm next trying to figure out what that means right now.
I don't see anything.
I'm going to show them how it's done. You take the lid, which happens to have a magnet inside.
Oh, man.
Slide.
All right, move it a little bit. Yep. Here it
It's
comes.
coming? Yeah, it's working.
It's coming down the pipe.
It's working.
You gotta really push.
There it is.
Look at that.
How cool is that?
They're so clever.
That's so smart.
All right, pretty cool, huh? All right, this last one is somebody who created their own clever cache. Check it out.
Now all I need to do is screw the lid on. Oh, what's that? It's just ordinary log sitting on the table. Oh, wrong. Wrong. Look at that. Look at this. Oh, bet you feel real silly now thinking that was a real log. All right, so first you open up the log, and in here's the container, which you pull out. And as you can see, there is a code for a YouTube video that you must look at to unlock these padlocks that are on either side. All right, so once you've got the code and you unlock the padlocks, you take the lid off, and look, there's another container. How exciting. But this one's locked. Oh no, what are you gonna do? Well, you're gonna use the key that's on this little retractable leash thing, and you put it in and you unlock the box. I know it's hard to understand. And inside the box, oh, look at this. We got some goodies in here. For added security, I drilled a hole in the blog base and put an Apple AirTag in that little hole and covered it up. So that way I know where the log is at all time if some ape decides to come and steal it. I got my bush gear on and we're going to drop the geocache in the secret location. Yeah, that's good enough.
All right, I hope you have gotten a better idea of what it's like to go geocaching. And I mean, I'm going to go try it out. And my next video here actually is going to be me with my 67i out geocaching here in Colorado. But some of these can be really challenging. So make sure you take your phone or something with you that you can look up the hints because you just might need them. All right, next up will be my video of my first geocache ever. So check it out. Hopefully it won't be too difficult. Okay, I'm on my first ever geocaching run at Sandstone Ranch near Larkspur, Colorado. And I'm out here with my GPSMAP 67i. And I've got a couple of caches I'm going to be trying to find. And this is the first time, again, that I've ever done this. So if you also want to know more about this, at the end, I'll have information on what geocaching is and some examples so you can really get a feel for what it's like and how much fun you can have. And also at the end, I'm going to tell you about some struggles I've had downloading different geocache locations to my 67i. It's a great device, but I have had some issues getting some of these caches located. I'll tell you about all that at the end. All right, you can see right here my 67i. I've come down here to geocaching. I'm going to select that. And then right here it has all these different geocaches that I have found on geocaching.com. All right, so it actually shows that Happy New Deer is the closest one to me. I'm going to hit enter, and you can see it right there on the map. And now it says go. So let's see what happens. There's an arrow with a magenta line in front of it. It says it's the Buzzard Loop. So let's go check this out. I'm going to zoom in here. Let me do that real quick. I'm going to zoom in closer so I can see more of the trail. And I have the settings set to like the accuracy on the GPS to within 1 foot. So let's go see if we can find it. Again, first time. So it's a gorgeous morning here in Colorado. It's December 17th, 2023, and it's going to be about 50 degrees today. Just an absolutely gorgeous day here, as you can see here in the Front Range at the Sandstone Ranch. All right, if I had to guess, I'd say the geocache is in those rocks right up there from distance, and maybe kind of a fairly cool place to put a cache. All right, we're getting close. It says we're 200 feet away, and again, those rocks right there, up in there somewhere, is where the cache is located. So we're getting really close. Let's go find it. Right, looks like they may have hit it back up here behind the rock, and I can see maybe some footprints where somebody else came. It says I'm 40 feet away now, and honestly I think it's up by that rock right there behind me. All right, it says we are on it 4 feet away. I'll zoom in a little bit more with this Garmin. As close as I can get. It says 5 feet away. Now, somebody mentioned, I'll say this real quick, when you get close to a cache, is to put your phone down or your GPS unit down and just look around and see if you can find it. Another thing is, one of my subscribers, I'll have his information on the screen and in the description below. He lives out near a desert and there's a lot of rattlesnakes, and it's something I really wasn't thinking about, but especially if you have kids. And in Colorado, there are rattlesnakes around here. Now, in December, it's probably too cold and they're underground or in their den. But make sure that you look around when you especially are places where you might have some snakes and some dangerous animals, with kids especially. These GPS units can be off by 20 feet or so. So this is where you really got to put this away and start looking around. But I'm going to look up here first, and then I'll start to widen the area that I'm looking in. Okay, I have not been able to find this yet, and I don't have forever. The only thing I found that was a little out of place was somebody put a rock in this tree trunk, and you know, they kind of might be smart Alex and trying to have some fun with people, but I don't see anything on it that would indicate maybe a message or something hidden that would make this a really challenging find, because I think it's supposed to be easy. Okay, this is my first DNF, did not find. And if I wanted to spend an hour here, I might be able to find it, but I don't have a lot of time. I've got other things to do today. But there is another cache located out here. I'm gonna go check that out and see if I can find it, hopefully. I don't have 2 DNFs. All right, we're gonna get out of this one. We're gonna quit. Happy New Deer 2021, and I'm going to put DNF behind that. By the way, there was no hint with this cache. Okay, the next one is called Juniper Valley Wickedness, I believe. The difficulty says it's 5. That's great. All right, let's hit go and probably end up with another DNF. Great, first time out, geocaching. If I had to guess, I think it's up by this tree and rock here, but we'll find out. Okay, here's a big rock and a tree. Great place to stash something. I'm getting really close. I'm 200 feet away. I guess that's not super close. You can see right here on the GPSMAP 67i, it gives the trail I'm on, has a white arrow showing the direction I'm going. And I've got 200 feet and it shows the cache straight ahead off to the left of the trail. All right, 20 feet away. See if I can find this. Well, I'm about 3 or 4 feet away. Seems like a good spot to hide something right here. 2 feet away, 3 feet, 4. Again, based upon the accuracy of these GPS units, I'm probably on top of it. Now, there's some snow here, so it's possible it could cover it up. I'm going to check around the rocks here a little bit. This is a micro cache, so super small. Could be hidden up in any one of these little rocks. Probably is not in the snow, it's probably up here. But do I have enough time to find it before I need to leave? There are a lot of little holes and cracks in this rock here. You could hide a micro cache anywhere. It'd be awesome. All right, another DNF. What can you say? I wanted to make this video, but I didn't have a lot of time, so I can't spend hours looking for it. Okay, so was this geocaching adventure a bust? I would say absolutely not, because it got me out here on a trail near Larkspur, Colorado in December. Exercise, and I need some more of that. But what I did learn is, and I'm showing you guys, is how easy it is to use this Garmin GPSMAP 67i. And this satellite communicator took me right to within 20 feet of where these caches were located. I just didn't have enough time to really look for them because I got to get back to some other things I got to take care of today. But I did want to tell you about a few things that I was struggling with, and that was when I was going between the geocaching.com site and my Garmin GPSMAP 67i, plus the Garmin Express software that you have to use. So when I selected some of those geocaches, and it asked me if I wanted to send it to Garmin, and so I did, and about 4 of them actually downloaded. You have to go to the Garmin Express site, and then you can download it to whatever device you have. And so I selected the 67i and it worked just fine. There's about 6 or 7 geocaches out here, and I was not actually able to get those other 4 or so geocaches downloaded, and I tried a lot of different things. Actually, one of the things I tried was I got out of the geocaching.com site, I unplugged my 67i, and I got out of the Garmin Express, and then I opened it all back up, and then I tried it again, and twice it actually worked. I was able to download some of that cache information, but there's about 4 of them out here I couldn't get to. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that, because I was having some technical difficulties. If you've got any questions or comments, or you've seen it and you know a way around it, let me know, because there's also some things you can do where you can actually put in the coordinate. Well, again, this is my first time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to learn more about geocaching, and if this is like the first time you've ever done it or seen it, I've got some information that I've done about what is geocaching. Check that out in the top right of your screen. And there's also a playlist for geocaching if you want to learn more about everything I've been through and how I've set up the GPSMAP 67i. Well, thanks for joining me out here. Please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications. And I'll see you in the next video.